We have a great guest. Taya Dunleavy is she is the president of the Young Americas Foundation at UCLA, and she organized a very cool event last week, and we want to talk to her all about it. Taya, are you there?
I am here, yes. Thank you for having me on.
Fantastic. Now, you're the president of the Young Americas Foundation, right?
Yes.
And that's at the beautiful campus of UCLA. Just before we get into the actual event, tell us a little bit about the Young Americas Foundation.
Sure. So the Young Americans for Freedom is a nonpartisan, conservative, student-led project of the Young Americas Foundation, which provides a platform for conservative speakers to come on campus. We also engage in on-campus activism, and our club particularly holds a lot of debates to try to shatter echo chambers while promoting the conservative message.
Fantastic. Okay, very cool. All right, and last week you guys hosted an event, organized an event, and what is the name of that event?
So the event we hosted was called Don't Blame the NRA.
Don't blame the NRA.
I love it. I love the title. That made it real simple.
Yes.
Now tell us why you organized Don't Blame. Is it Don't Blame the NRA Day? Is that what we want to call it, or just
sure?
Okay.
So we called it Don't Blame the NRA, and the reason we were inspired to host this event was really just a reaction to the campus's reaction to the Parkland shooting. The NRA was on the tip of everyone's tongue as the entity to blame for the shooting. Mm-hmm. In one of my courses, my professor actually made the statement that the NRA was a vehicle of voter manipulation for the Russians, and just these amazing claims about the NRA. Exactly. It was laughable, but nobody questioned it. So I was really surprised in a room of honors students that nobody had any questions about the assumptions being thrown out about the NRA. Even, in religious circles, hearing the blame of the NRA, that it was spread all across the campus. So it definitely was an issue that needed to be clarified, as some students were hosting a rally for gun control on campus. It was something that our student body president endorsed, and so there was no room for debate until we hosted the event, which was really our goal, was to present the facts about the NRA so that students could be educated.
And now, what is your opinion of the NRA?
So my opinion of the NRA is, while I am personally not a member, having done a lot of research to make sure that the NRA is is not what has been claimed. I find that the NRA is an essential organization to promote lawful and well-trained gun ownership in the country, and that many students are concerned about the gun culture that we have in America. But I think the NRA is essential in regulating gun ownership and making sure that the millions of citizens who own guns are informed about them, about how to use them. And this is the reason we don't see NRA members committing mass shootings or NRA members committing these crimes, is because they are well trained through the resources of the NRA.
Well, and Thea, this is Dave. I don't know about you, but when I was a boy, and along with Joe,
I'm sure she was never a boy.
No, she was never a boy. But when she was younger, or when I was younger, my parents or my dad, my uncle, my grandfather, took me out and taught me to shoot. I don't think we're seeing that in today's generations. Did your mom and dad take you out and teach you how to shoot?
Yes, my dad was actually a Marine. He was a great shot.
Ah, there you go.
He taught both me and my mom how to shoot, and my brother, and we own guns, and I feel much safer and much more equipped as a result.
See? Wow. And that's it in a nutshell right there. And I think everybody that's against gun ownership have never either shot a gun or never been involved with it and never realized that it's a sport.
Yes, absolutely.
And very empowering.
Go ahead, Joe.
Definitely.
Well, just go kind of, piggyback on what you just said.
By the way, this is Joe Holyfield. He's a Marine, and he works at Gun Range San Diego.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they make these assumptions, all these things that are coming out where they think AR stands for automatic rifle or assault rifle or things like that, where I even saw a video clip the other day where a guy was talking about how he could put his AR-15 style rifle on full semi-automatic.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's...
that man was a retired Army general.
Yeah.
Who said that.
Well, there's the problem. He's a general.
Unbelievable.
Exactly. Anyway. But,
could have been a second lieutenant.
What I really wanted to say was I love how when you opened up, Thea, that talked about being nonpartisan conservative. because a lot of people, you hear conservative and you automatically think, a lot of people automatically get that like Republican right wing thing in their head. But even like San Diego County gun owners is nonpartisan. It's all about being conservative and sticking toward the Constitution and those kind of things. So I just think that it's great that you guys call yourself nonpartisan.
Yes, definitely. That's been a big pull for a lot of individuals who are concerned about, hyperpolarization on campus.
So do you get a lot of people who maybe self-identify as a liberal or Democrat who, still kind of support some of the actions you guys are doing?
We do. Really interestingly, on our first day when we were advertising, we had a liberal student come up to us and tell us how absolutely enraged he was at his own party and at his own, his own side, at how they were suppressing free speech and the things that they were standing for. And really, he saw the conservative movement as the one who was standing up for what the left claimed to support. So we've had socialists, Democrats, libertarians. We have a whole mix of individuals who are attracted to the idea of just having free speech and open dialogue.
Excellent. So now let's get back to the Don't Blame NRA date. And tell us a little bit about it. It was last Thursday, right?
Yes.
And tell us about what happened.
Sure. So what we did is we set up a board just with facts. We had a big sign that said, "Don't blame the NRA for the Parkland shooting," and ask us why. So we had many students come by our table and ask us just that question. Some of them already had most of them already had preconceived notions. They were not supportive of the NRA. So we had the board, and we were also handing out literature with two pieces of information. One was non-political ways to support the victims of the Parkland shooting. Because unfortunately, there's this false dichotomy of if you want to help the students, then you have to advocate for gun control. And if you don't advocate for gun control, you're not helping the students. So we wanted to provide other ways to assist the students outside of gun control. And then we talked about historically why assault rifle bans and regulations have not been effective. So showing how just the current solution is not the solution we need.
And now where did you do that? You said you set up a table. Was this on campus or what was going on?
Yes, so this is in one of the most highly congested areas on campus where all the students have to walk through to go to class. So we got a lot of just stop-by traffic of students on their way.
That's amazing. Now, what was a lot of negative response, a lot of positive response? How did it go generally?
It was mostly negative response. One student, in fact, even said that we needed to ban all guns. We needed to remove them from every home in America. And I think that was overall the general consensus of students who came to ask us, is that they wanted the guns gone, and they wanted to understand how we could possibly support. One student described it as the gun culture supporting NRA. But what was surprising was to see how some students were softened when they saw the statistics that we put on our board, because we did a very thorough job of making sure, these are from nonpartisan sources, very credible, just talking about how gun violence has been going down, how really it's not from these assault rifles. There's just so many different factors in violence and mass shootings, et cetera, that students didn't know about. And so when they were asking us these questions, we would ask them, have you heard this information? Have you heard about the previous attempt to ban assault rifles from 1994 to 2004? And students hadn't. All they'd heard is, clips from CNN, or they'd heard these appeals made from their fellow students that we just have to support gun control. So when confronted with these facts, I think that some students' positions were in fact softened through some of the conversations that we had.
Wow, extremely well spoken and well thought out. Now, have you heard from the NRA? Have they contacted you at all?
We have not been contacted. No.
What are you majoring in?
I'm majoring in political science.
Great. You want a job after you after you graduate?
I wouldn't anything.
Well, we'll have to talk about that.
And we're not joking either. I mean, we're dead serious because you are a breath of fresh air. I'm telling you, because all we hear is negative, and everybody our age are concerned about everybody your age, because your age is not represented in the way you just represented it. And I think it's important that you keep the fight.
That's right.
Right. Thank you so much. We had one student who was really bold and talked to our newspaper about his stance. He said, the left wants to call Trump a fascist, but then they want to take away our guns.
Yeah.
Why would they want that? And then the newspaper just defamed him, and they said that he was yelling at these protesters, and it's just amazing to see what, the silencing of our voice on campus. But thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, kiddo. Well, hey, look for Dave Stahl. I just asked to be your friend on Facebook. And anytime you have something to say, you just hook up with Michael Schwartz, and you definitely got free airtime.
All right, thank you for the opportunity.
All right, kiddo. Hey, we're going to take a small break.
Without someone doing something about it, it's not going to get any better.